I be looking fresh with them feds watching. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. New whip, yeah. Dogs, Toto. All you're doing is going down a bloody yellow brick motherfucking road. Sexual misconduct on a student. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. New whip, yeah. Dogs, Toto. Make your block hot. Kettle, buck 40, evil cutting evil, I be stunting. Paparazzi, put the barrel down your throat, have you singing Lady Gaga. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. 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 New whip, yeah. Dogs, Toto.
Welcome to the weekend live show.
508 is where I'm from.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
Apache Junction, Taunton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchard, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, Wichita, Billerica, Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hanson, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Mapleville, Quincy.
Food stamps, leave your clothes, buddy, and
hey, you a funny ass guy, man.
Have you ever heard of Turtleboy? Yeah? Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from.
Hey, what's up?
508 is where I'm from.
How was that?
You a freaking idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid.
Call me Aidan. He's not a doctor, but...
Get out of my store, please.
You're a fucking loser.
You are a loser.
You're not a journalist. You're nobody.
You're not turtle hair. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
NFL on the house, blog out.
Let's get this party.
It's go time. Tick, tick, boom. Bringing noise. Go, baby, we bringing our toys. Separating from the boys. Chopper be singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this, so it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
It's go time. Tick, tick, boom.
You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
It's go time. Tick, tick, boom.
You're calling yourself a turtle. A turtle. Do you know what that means? A turtle. Guess what?
Hello, what's up, Turtle Riders? How's everyone out there doing tonight? Good, excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host. They call me, my real name's Aidan. Some people call me Clarence. Old school turtle riders call me Uncle Turtleboy. Newer ones, I prefer Doctor, actually. But I also have some people that call me Daddy. I don't care what you call me, as long as you're here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. And make sure you smash that subscribe button, because we're closing in on 50,000 subs. That's pretty cool. Halfway to 100. You get a plaque from YouTube if you get the 100. I was at Tim Pool's house in January. I was there. He had the plaque for 100,000, 500,000, and 1 million. We can dream big here. We can dream big. We actually have, like Tim Pool, when I was on his show, it's like I think there was 36,000 people watching live, right? And we get like 10% of that now. Like 10% is like a real percent. It's not like 1%. It's a significant percent, so 10% of somebody that big is significant. So we're getting there. A little bit at a time. So anyway, yeah, we got to get that plaque. So make sure you guys smash that subscribe. And that counts as an award too, by the way. I'm going to shove that in Jill Daniels' face. Where's your award, Turtleboy? 100,000 subs. That counts. That definitely counts. You haven't gotten an award since 2017. Oh, you're changing the goalposts there, sweetheart Jill. Sorry. Didn't know I didn't know they had to be really recent awards, but I guess you do in your world. She's got very strict standards, Jill Daniels, but I digress. Anyway, folks, hold on one sec. The studio here. I'm thinking about getting like a real studio too. I might get out of the basement, because the heater is a pain in the ass, and the mouse, that fucking mouse. If I see that mouse again, I'm gonna anyway. Yeah, so follow all the socials in the bio below in the description. Facebook, Twitter, Instaface, whatever. We don't do Snapchat. I have a TikTok. I haven't TikToked in like 2 months, but you can follow me on there. I might use it once in a while. We'll see. But yeah, other than that, like I said, just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. Am I missing anything else? Oh yeah, if you guys like the program and you want to donate to what we do, you can't donate on the super chat, because YouTube took that away from us. We had the wrong opinions about a certain president's vaccine mandate a couple of years ago, and they're like, you can't take money from people because you're a bad person. You had the wrong opinions. But it's no big deal, because those crooks took 30 to 40% anyway. So we just went and built our own platform. It's called Turtle Chat. If you click at the link at the top of this stream, that brings you to something called Turtle Chat. You can donate whatever amount of money you want, and then you get to write a little message when you do that. I'll get a notification in my inbox, and I will read that message out loud to the class. Like for instance, we have one here. Jeez, we got a couple nice turtle chats here. The first one is from Kate Fireball Peter, and it's $100 dono, starting us off right. Kate Fireball Peter Arundel. So it says hashtag stand with Israel. The Canton drunks must go to prison. Yes, that would be nice if they went to prison. So you can donate that way, or you can cash at me like somebody just did right now at $ Uncle Turtleboy. Cash App is awesome, by the way. Like I said, like these people kick me off of platforms and they think it's some sort of victory, and I always just come out smelling like roses on the other side. Like they got rid of, we couldn't do the super chat on YouTube because they demonetized us a couple of years ago because of that, and they literally took 30% of all donos. So we just built our own, and now they get nothing, and I make the same amount. So good job, censors. You really showed me. And PayPal, I got banned from PayPal about 3 years ago. PayPal wouldn't tell me why. They actually told me when I called. PayPal has a phone number you can call. So I called them, and they said, well, if we told you the reason why you're banned, then you could open a new account and try not to do that thing. It's like, so you're worried that I'm going to make a new account and follow the rules. That's what you're worried about. And I can't exchange money. Like, what do you care? You're freaking PayPal. You're literally just a wallet. Like you don't do anything but move the money. Like, what do you care? What my opinions are on, like what? And so that's fine. So they took a hefty percent anyway. Cash App takes significantly less. So I'm all about Cash App now. So I just got a Cash App here from Jane. She sends $10 and says, still here to say you're an asshole, Morrissey. Yes, he is. Michael Morrissey is a total douche canoe. So yeah, let me see if we have any other. Okay, cool. Again, if anyone else wants to donate, the link is at the top to Turtle Chat, and or you can cash at me at $, Uncle Turtleboy. All right. So let's just jump right on it, guys. So I did this blog the other day that I've been working on for a bit with some help from people because I thought it was like really important, because I'm just going to refer to these people now moving forward with this story as like the class of whatever. Like that's what I'm always going to write that, like just to remind people how close all these motherfuckers are. Michael Lank will always be class of 90 now. Like that's just what I'm going to call him. Kevin Albert, class of 91. I've already got it memorized. And it's like we have 3 months until Karen Reed's next court date. So that seems like a lull. But actually, I think it's a good opportunity to make some more videos. We need to make some more like frame type videos, just like, not live ones, pre-made ones, just to go over some stuff, just because we need to keep getting the word out about this case. We have 5 months until the trial date. I think 5 months from this week, right? The 12th. It's scheduled for March 12th. I don't know if it's going to go off on that date. Hopefully the trial never happens to begin with. Why am I seeing all these ones in the comments? Do you read your message? Okay. But yeah. So there's that. Anyway, yeah. So we're going to have to like review a lot of this stuff. So what I'm doing, and I did in Turtle Club the other night when I did in the blog yesterday, was I'm going one by one and just reviewing these people's stories and just to get it all out there. Cause there's some really interesting nuggets now that we're like all experts on the story. Now that we know it like the back of our hand, it's interesting to go back and read what initially got Karen charged in the first place and realize how bogus and ridiculous this all was. Like you learn something new every time you read these court documents. So I did Jen McCabe the other day. And then the next one I'm going to do is Ryan Nagel, because his whole story just needs to be analyzed. Ryan Nagel is the good guy in this, and his sister's the bad guy. So it's a weird situation that he's in. So we're going to need to talk about Ryan Nagel, kind of a mystery man, isn't around. The only picture we have of him is an unfortunate mugshot from a DUI he got a while back, I think in Florida. So we need to, but he's one of the most, I would argue he's more important than Lucky Loughran. Like him and Lucky Loughran are the two most important witnesses in this case, because they're the only two that are telling the truth and are reliable and aren't related to anyone in the house. Well, he's technically related to Julie, but have no reason to lie. Or they're going to tell the truth. And they both have really interesting testimony because they both didn't see a body, and they should have seen a body. According to the Commonwealth's timeline, they both should have seen a body. And they'll say that, well, Lucky Loughran, they'll make Jennifer Koefendafer. They treat Lucky like he's their pet retard. Like they're just like, oh, we like Lucky. He's a nice guy, but he's just dumb. He's just like Forrest Gump. He doesn't actually know what he's doing. Bitch, he's been plowing for 18 years. You might think you're smarter than Lucky, but he knows more about plowing roads than you ever will. So there's that. So stop putting words in Lucky's mouth. But, they'll say that Lucky didn't see the body there, or like, he was too focused on the road. It was really there. He missed it. That's what they'll say. But with Ryan Nagel, they can't say that, because Ryan Nagel was sitting there in a truck for like, 7 or 8 minutes, just sitting there. He would have seen, like, there's no way. His testimony's even better. So we need to, and we also need to compare it to the new comment, because this whole 24 miles an hour at 1225, 62 feet, that's all new. And we need to just reanalyze every single person's statement given this new information that they're going to work with, because it's contradicted by something else. Everything is contradicted by something else in this wild, crazy story. So we're going to do him. Then we're going to do Brian Albert. We need to talk about Brian Albert's testimony, like everything he did that morning. And then we need to talk about Michael Proctor, because we don't even know where. It's kind of a mystery where Michael Proctor was this whole time. It's very unclear in the documents exactly what time Michael Proctor got there. Remember, he didn't even go to the scene. On scene, according to Koefendafer and company, was Canton Police Department. He rallied. Remember, he rallied they rallied up him and oh, I'm still laughing about the tweet from Koefendafer where she said that him and Yuri, they wanted to go to 34 Fairview Road, but they didn't have cars with 4-wheel drive. Meanwhile, he lives a mile from Brian Albert's house. You could just drive there. You could walk there. But they went all the way to Milton, to the state police barracks there to rally up. And somehow they got there in their car. They didn't have four-wheel drive and couldn't get to 34 Fairview Road, but they got to the state police barracks and they rallied up there together. It's like they got in the car and they like high five, rally up. And then they rallied up and then they went back to the scene, but the scene was actually the Canton Police Department, not 34 Fairview Road, even though Trooper Garino's report on February 4th specifically says the scene is 34 Fairview Road and they went there. So whatever. Anyway, yeah, I mean, Koefendaver and Murphy are very different. I think Koefendaver is a lot more ridiculous than Wendy is actually, because Wendy's just, when you look at Wendy and she's just like not middle-aged, like a boomer woman who just drinks way too much box wine, is just a royal cunt of the highest degree and isn't a serious person at all. Just, she's the one that said Lucky plowed fucking John across the lawn. Like, that's her theory. Like, that's ridiculous. Not a serious person. But Koefendaver is the one that's always on TV. It's like always on everyone's show. And like, I'm Miss FBI expert. And I'm like, oh my God, she's much worse in my opinion. And no, she has not apologized, and I don't anticipate she will. So we'll see. Again, I'm busy. I don't have time to sue Freeville for deformation. I wish I did, but it is what it is. Okay. Let me see here. All right, so let's get started on this in 1 second. Let me just check. Couple turtle chats. Just want to read here, so make sure I get everyone. We got Jess sends $5 and says, "You amaze me daily. Keep it going, Doc. Free Karen Read from Franklin, Massachusetts." Well, thank you very much. You amaze me too. Turtle Riders always amaze me what you guys have been doing with this case. Next up, we have Jen Francis, and she sends $20 and says, "Your breakdown of Jen McCabe's different version of events was awesome." Well, thank you very much. Keep it up. Yeah, I think it's important to point that out. And I was fascinated. Again, when you reread all this stuff, it's just fascinating, the shit that you miss. Kelly sends $25 with the comment, to delicious from vicious. Jim Ferris is rude. One of the Rockos went down there today, and they actually told Jim Ferris he was rude to his face. It got a little testy. Check that out on the Justice for John and Karen Facebook page, which you should all subscribe to for good content. And I do want to say this, right? So this is always controversial when people go to Fairview Road. They go to 34 Fairview Road, and I have a policy with that. Because I go to 34 Fairview Road, and I saw somebody in the comments say, and I appreciate this, the homage, and they'd like, just Turtleboy's the only one that should be going there and doing that. It's like, appreciate that, but I don't have the right to tell anyone else. Like, I can go there, and I don't have a permit to go there, you know? So what I would say is just don't go on the property. Like, that's it. Don't touch their lawn or their driveway or whatever. But it is like, let's be honest, and it's not their fault. I do feel bad for them to a degree. But it is somewhat of a tourist attraction now. Like, and it's like Chris Watts' home, or, you know, any of these homes where bad things happened and somebody moves in for a discount price. Oh, hi, Daddy. Hi. I love that. I do like that. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, yeah, don't go. Oh, the curb. The curb is town property. Okay. I think the curb belongs to the town. And that was an accident when I ran into their curb. Okay. Who lives there now? The woman who bought it was actually the realtor. She was the buyer. So she's like, I think she must be a flipper, because she gets in that house. First of all, she got it for $50,000 less than asking price. And there's a whole new, that house was shit. It's like a 50-year-old house, and I don't think they've done a day's worth of work to it besides getting rid of the bloody floor. I don't think they've done anything else. Like, look at the yard. Look at this friggin' yard. Can we get some weed killer? Can we do something about this lawn? Some pesticide? I don't know. Do something with your friggin' lawn. It's a nice neighborhood. It's a really nice neighborhood. You feel like you're in Pleasantville, when you're on Fairview Road. Birds are chirping. There is a train in the back, but it doesn't go by that. It's the MBTA train, but it's got a huge backyard. It's got a pool. There's like a paved in like basketball hoop area. It has the potential to be a really nice house. I think it's 5 bedrooms, man. 5. That's a lot of bedrooms for a house that I think is like 23 or 2,400 square feet. With the basement, wouldn't recommend going down there. I heard people don't come back, but it's a nice house. All things considered, but they just let it go to shit. Like the siding on the house was ghetto. And when me and Richie were there a couple weeks ago, it's like we did the drone up there. They were draining the pool. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. Maybe turn it into a skateboard park. I don't know. But whatever this woman is, she knows she's a professional. She knows what she's doing. And I met her. I knocked on the door and I met her and she was very accommodating. Like, I feel like she would have let me in the house if I wanted to, but I didn't want to press, you know? But man, I kind of wish I asked. But again, so I would just say that, like, it's not really fair to tell people not to go there because, you know, like it or not, it's not her fault. First of all, she got a deal on it. She got $50,000 less. I mean, so she's making, she'll sell the house for much more than that. And so she's getting, you know, she's obviously a smart woman and she felt a little bit, it's not our fault that they didn't tell her. It's the selling agent's fault. You know, they were the ones that was devious with her. So they don't legally have to disclose that either. Did look into that. But it was weird. Like at the open house, they wouldn't let anybody like take pictures or anything. They've been shady from the beginning. But anyway, they were probably likely okay. I don't know anything about pools. I don't own a pool. I go to the Holden pool. It's I don't touch it. So I don't know anything about pools. Just like I don't know anything about 911 calls. But anyway, so yeah, let's talk about the yearbook, shall we? All right. So I thought this was an important blog to do just to show how it is. The thesis of this piece was that it is impossible in the town of Canton for a body to show up in Brian Albert's yard and for it to be properly investigated by the Canton police or the state police. It is at least at the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office state police. So it is impossible. You should have called in state police from another barracks, something. And that's what we're going to get to here. So I went, and to prove this, we decided to go through the yearbook. So we're going to go through it together. Canton 902 and oh God, there she is. Or is this the wrong one? Oh, this is the Jen McCabe blog. Actually, let me get to the other one. Where'd it go? All right, so class of 75. We got Tom Theodore. Tom Theodore is the boomer. He's the chairman of the select board. Who I don't think the guy goes on social media much, so he probably has no idea what any of this even means. And if you're Tom Theodore, you've lived in Canton your entire life. You graduated in 1975, almost 50 years ago. That's crazy. And his big thing is just like, I like Canton. I like things the way they are in Canton. You know, the police do a good job. Fire does a good job. Everybody does a good job. We're all happy in Canton. We don't want to rock the boat. That's the mentality of the Board of Selectmen in this town. We don't want to rock the boat. We just, whatever, let it play out in the court. Whatever happens, happens. And so he's the guy that shut down commenting from the public at the meetings. Now, they did get a letter from the ACLU this week. I didn't get a chance to blog about it, but it's a good letter. The ACLU can be useful at sometimes. And they're good. Like the ACLU defended me in a lawsuit, in 2019 with Failure Swift, that woman from Rhode Island who sued me. They did a great job. So they are good on speech issues, and they still are. And they're good with shit like this. Like if your town does like bans commenting, like they'll get on that. Give them a call. So they sent a strongly worded letter to the Canton Board of Selectmen, particularly Theodore, telling him you need to let these people talk. You got to let these people talk, Tommy. Anyway, we'll see. They're gonna people are afraid. Like the ACLU has so much money that they can like threaten to sue. Like they have to, they're kind of like a shakedown agency. Like you're not going to, if you don't let the people talk, like that's kind of like the ACLU letting you know, we're going to sue your ass and we're going to win. They explain why they're going to win in the letter. It's a really good letter. So that is Tom Theodore. So like basically when this guy is in charge of your police department, essentially overseeing them, he's not the type of guy who's going to be like, you know what we need? You know what Canton needs? Structural change. Picture this guy be like, you know what Canton needs? New leadership. Or like, you know, we need to audit the police department. We need to do something about that. This is not the guy. He's the guy that's just like, oh, everything's fine in Canton. Go along to get along. I've lived here my whole life. What are you talking about? Speaking of, if you live in Canton and you want to do something about this, I highly recommend. So Kathleen Howley, an award-winning journalist like myself, she is organizing a ballot petition or a petition to force to have a special town meeting in which the citizens get to kind of set the agenda for the meeting. And they want to force Helena Rafferty to sit down and answer questions from the public, force them to. And they also want to, I didn't see anything about a recall on there, but basically an audit. That would be very awesome. Like an outside consulting agent, something like that comes in and audits the police department. That is so necessary. This whole town needs a fresh set of eyes on it because this got to where we are. And this blog is a perfect example of what's rotten about Canton. So anyway, so there's Theodore, class of 75. Also 75, one of the good guys, our friend Sean of the Golf. Sean McDonough, look at him. What a haircut. He looks like one of those guys, no offense, Sean, but he like one of those guys from like, was it Mario 2, Super Mario 2 that you jump on? Like if you just took his head off and you put two tiny feet under his neck, he would look like one of the bad guys that you jump on, wouldn't he? So there's Sean there. Sean's one of the only people in Canton who's not rotten to the core because he moved. Not. I want to take that back. There's a lot of great people in Canton. I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about, the Canton establishment. So he's like kind of like the Canton anti-establishment. And we haven't heard. Some people were asking where's Sean in the Gulf been. Again, I'm not allowed in the other group, so I don't see if he's posting in there. But I heard he hasn't been posting much. But I still like Sean. I don't think we should all like Sean because Sean is provided some very valuable insight about how police work is supposed to happen at the crime scene. I learned a lot from having him on my show, and most importantly, he's on our team. Right, he's Team Karen Reed. So there's that. Okay, so there's Sean McDonough. All right. Let's see. All right. Next up. So this is class of 78. So we had the wrong John Connolly. And so this is John Connolly in 1978. What did he get on the Board of Selectmen like 2 months later? And he never got off it. So he's a twin, as it turns out. It looks just, oh my God. Sweet Jesus. This guy. I've never seen, I don't want to crap on people the way, I'm not crapping on the way he looks, but he needs to do something about his lifestyle. It's not good. It's not good. So again, he's the same exact thing as Tom Theodore on the Board of Selectmen forever. Kind of gets to pick who gets on the Board of Selectmen too. You know, he went to Chris Albert's, I believe he went to his party, his campaign party. He donated to his campaign. He claims he donated to all the campaigns. That may be true. I don't know. But like, he wanted Chris Albert to win. All these people wanted to replace Lisa Lopez on there because she's a communist and put on Chris Albert. It doesn't matter what a degenerate. It's like they couldn't find somebody else. I can understand wanting to get rid of Lisa Lopez. I'm told that basically a lot of people voted against her. A lot of people voted for Chris because of some like low income housing thing. That's always the big thing in towns is like when somebody wants to create more low income housing, it's always just like, okay, what's this going to do to property value? That's always the big debate in towns, right? Is Are we going to have more low-income housing? Because that turns into fucking, like, that has a tendency to turn into quality of life shit and whatever. And so I can understand people wanting to replace Lisa Lopez. But there's 25,000 other people in the town. You couldn't find someone else better than Chris Albert, somebody who doesn't have a shitload of freaking liens on him and stuff. Like you had to put that guy. But again, it's the Albert name. That's what got Chris Albert on the Board of Selectmen. So there's, and this guy is just, again, same as Tom Theodore, status quo. You think this guy is ever going to question Helena Rafferty? You think this guy's ever going to hold her responsible? No. This guy spoke at Berkowitz's retirement parties, cracking jokes up there. They're all cracking jokes about like, oh yeah, down in Marina Bay, drinking on the boat. It's just like funny that every single one of them had like a Bud Light where they're up there roasting Ken Berkowitz. And he's one of them up there. It's just like, oh, these guys with they really lay the accents on heavy. So oh, sweet Jesus. And there he is with Bernie Albert. He's like, I know Bernie. I used to coach his son, Kevin. And Little League. Oh yeah. And he's always got the vest on with the short sleeve shirt. Oh, okay. So that's him. So here's class of 82. We had Nick Morathis. That would be, if you're unfamiliar with Nick Morathis, I think we have a clip from him here. Do we have it? Hold on. Where's my Nick Morathis one? Did I lose it? Oh, it's a good Nick Morathis. This is the carpet guy.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Whoa, we're getting a little off track.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, no, you don't, because you're a fucking loser. Oh, I went to Truro because somebody gave me a thing.
Somebody gave me a thing.
Okay, no, you don't, because you're a fucking loser.
Okay. What's this one? Where'd it go? What crime did I commit? What crime did I commit? Why do you guys all say that? I thought I had it. Anyway, he's the one that calls him a fucking homo. You're a fucking homo. So there's Nick Morathis, the carpet guy, rumored to have replaced Brian Albert's carpet the second time, or his floor in the basement. So he would know where those tiles are and everything. We'll see. So there's Nick Morathis, 82. And I mean, seriously, Jill, what? It's sad that he looks younger than her, doesn't it? I'm just saying. Okay. 83 was a busy year at Canton. Canton High School, 83, we had Douglas Calvin Seaman, and Michelle Weeks Reardon. So two of them. I mean, dude, what is this outfit? What is going on? So this is Jen McCabe's oldest sister, Michelle Reardon. And she's the one with the short hair. Jen is the youngest of four. And I guess, so the McCabe girls were 83, 84, 88, and 94. The Weeks girls, rather. So she's much older than Jen. And I guess she works in Dedham. She's like a teacher, but she's fully on board with like she's in all the family photos and stuff like that. Like these people it's not a family, it's a cult. So she's fully on board with all that. You're saying Morathis wrong. How do I say it? Feel free to correct me, Brielle. I apologize. Okay. What are people saying? Tonight's a where you were. Okay. And by the way, we're also on Rumble too. How many Rumble rats we got out there? We got 300 Rumble rats over there. Excellent. Okay. So there's her, and then also 83, we have Douglas Calvin Seaman. Douglas Calvin Seaman is the guy who owns By the Yard Landscaping. By the Yard Landscaping is the company. It does exist now, but it didn't exist, at least wasn't incorporated as a company until April 25th, 2023, after we started writing about this, which was interesting timing because in a report written by Michael Proctor, back in February, I think, of 2022, he interviewed Michael Trotta, the DPW superintendent, or the DPW director, and Trotta told him that a company called that the town does not plow Fairview Road, which is a lie, that By the Yard plows roads like Fairview Road. It's a subcontractor. Now, I interviewed Trotta because I'm an award-winning journalist, and he told me that they both do it, which is different from what Proctor claimed that Trotta said. And why does that matter? Well, the guy who actually plowed the road and did not see a body on the road, Lucky Loughran, works for the town. So that was Proctor's way to avoid speaking with Lucky Loughran and passing the buck to this guy and saying his company does it. And if you asked him, he would just say, we didn't, because they didn't do it. So he would say, we didn't do it. It was an excuse not to talk to this guy. But as it turns out, his company does not only do, like, they do have a contract with the town. They do subcontract with the town, even though they were not a legitimate company or not a registered company with the state at the time. But other subcontractors also do the road. So they made it seem like only By the Yard does it. Why? Because this guy has been friends with all of them for the longest time. And they know if they go to this guy, he'll be like, no, I didn't do it. I didn't plow the road. I don't know anything about that. Which he didn't. I think he's got 2 plows. So obviously he's not the only, like they have, like we did a records request on this. A turtle writer actually did from Florida. She did a records request. And there's like dozens of subcontractors in town, in Canton. So not just By the Yard. But they put this guy's company on because he's friendly to them. See what I'm saying? He's known them for a long time. Duncan Calvin Seaman. Okay, so there's that. And there's Michelle Reardon and her stupid husband there. There's her with the bob haircut. Okay. And there's Duncan Seaman. Okay. Yeah, there he is. All right. Next up, class of 84. We had Brian Wanless, Denise Weeks, and Lieutenant Paul Gallagher. So this is Denise Weeks. What's her last name? Galvin now. She's Jennifer's older sister who lives on Boulevard Street. And she is the one who went down and confronted Alan Jackson and the 2020 reporters and told them that this is her town. No. And then I showed up a week later and I reminded her it was your town. It's my town now. I'm the mayor of Canton now. So you don't get to bully people and scare them and hang out with rude people like Jim Farris. It's not going to happen, sweetheart. So there's her. So then in 84, we got Brian Wanless. Now, I've never written about Wanless. This is more of a Shaun of the Gulf thing. And it's his belief, according to his sources, that Wanless was responsible for the taillight because he owns a body shop. And he retired from the Canton Police Department shortly after this. I think this is the same Wanless. I don't know. But I only threw him in there because I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't done much. I couldn't prove that. I don't write things I can't prove. But this guy has been the timing of the retirement and the fact that he owns a body shop. It is kind of interesting. But okay. So what else do we got here? Okay. And this is Lieutenant Paul Gallagher. Gallagher, I've heard good things about this guy. People say he's like an honest cop or whatever. So I'd encourage him to be honest. Gallagher was class of 1984. He was one of the 5 responding officers that went to 34 Fairview Road on the morning of January 29th, 2022. He's the only one who does not have a report in Alan Jackson's affidavit, but he is the one who got the leaf blower out and blew the snow around. So, by the way, they didn't search the scene while John's body was still there. John's body was out of there within 25 minutes, probably by like 6:30. They got John's body out of there. And he's the guy that came in afterwards to lead the search. Him and the other 2 supervisors, Lank and Good. And they are the ones who found, again, shards of a broken cocktail glass and 6 droplets of blood that they put in red Solo cups. That's it. And they used their leaf blower and the red Solo cups because that's what they learned at the academy. And so, like, this guy needs to talk more. If he's really a good cop, like they say, He should be vocal. He should be vocal and say, look, no. There was no shoe there. I'm not blind. I'm not incompetent. I didn't miss a shoe. I didn't miss 35 pieces of red taillight. That's for goddamn sure. That Michael Proctor suddenly found. The taillight whisperer found it all. And I somehow missed that. I would be, if I'm this guy, I would be so offended by that. Like, you're saying I'm this incompetent at my job that I somehow missed 35 pieces of red. Come on. Maybe 35. Stop it. And a hat. Because they find the hat later too. Like, oh. So yeah, he's class of 84. And he's one of the people who responds to the scene. All 5 responding officers, by the way, all 5, and the lead detective, and the only firefighter whose witness statements are in the charging documents, all graduated from Canton High School. That's remarkable. That's remarkable that everyone is from the town. I bet you if you went down to my police department in Holden, I think there's like 40 cops in Holden. And I found out where every single one of those guys was from, where they went to high school. Well, we have a regional school district, so it's a little different, 5 towns. But Wachusett, I would guess that of the 40 cops in this town, probably 10 went to Wachusett, if that. I bet you a lot of them went to school in Worcester or Fitchburg or Leominster, something like that. In Canton, it's different. Like, they don't leave. It's bizarre. Like, I understand people are saying this is like this in every town. It's not. It's not like this in every town. A lot of towns are transient. The population moves, right? Canton doesn't. It's like everybody stays. It's bizarre. It's very bizarre. And they've like accumulated power and they don't give it up. But okay. No, I mean, I bet Colden we have 20,000 people here. It's like I think it's like the 7th biggest town in Central Mass. So a little bit of respect, please. A little bit of respect for Holden. And I think Canton's got like 50 officers and they're just slightly bigger than us. But anyway, it's like this in Franklin. People say, I don't know. Maybe it is like this in your town. I don't know. But I just know that come on. Every single cop that came went to Canton High School. They don't even go to Catholic school or trade school or something. They all go to Canton High School. It's bizarre. What's bizarre is people actually move into Webster. That's bizarre. I'll give you that one. That's very bizarre. Okay. So anyway, back to this. So 85, the class of 85, that has Charles Duty, Jim Morathis. Am I saying that wrong? Morathis, Helena Rafferty, Dwight Seaman, and Eric Wade. So I missed this when it happened afterwards. Eric Wade is a Canton cop who has a lot of discipline. If you look up on the post, he's got the most like complaints against him in Canton. And you know who else has a complaint against him? Chris Albert. You know why Chris Albert has a complaint against Eric Wade? Because he fucked his wife. Yeah. Did you guys know that? It was his spicy. Julie Albert, I guess, had an affair, I'm told. My Canton people are telling me this. And it's kind of well known in town. Yeah, that happened. And somehow, let's remember, Jill Daniels, who's biggest, what does she always say to me? Don't you cheat on your wife? What about your sister, Jill? You got any comment about her? Interesting. That's just what I'm told. I think everybody in this town fucks each other anyway. But there's that. Anyway, so back to this. That's just what I'm told. I didn't actually see penetration, so I can't be 1000% sure. I wasn't there, but that's just what my sources tell me. So yeah, Charles Duty. So this is Eric Wade. That's just what I'm told. And who do we have here? Dwight Seaman. So Dwight Seaman is his daughter, Danielle, is good friends, is like in all the pictures of Colin. And Dwight is a teacher, I believe, at Blue Hills, the vocational school, I believe it is. He gave $500 to Chris Albert's campaign, $500. So like he's completely in bed with them. He lives like right around the block from 34 Fairview too. And then there's this one. Oh my God. I'm not going to talk about the looks. I'm not doing it, guys. I'm not doing it. It was the style back then. Give her a break. And by the way, I don't give a shit. I like Nicole Albert's hair. We're going to get to that. But so this one, Helena Rafferty, is of course the police chief, because of course the police chief in Canton was born and raised in Canton, graduated in 85 with all these other goobers, and she is a big part of the problem, the cover up, right? Because why? Hold on one minute. I'm getting a message. Hold on. Oh, I got a video of Brian Albert too. If you can send that, yeah, send it to me and I'll play it. Anyway, so this is Helena Rafferty here, and she's a big part of the problem because remember, her initial response to this is just let it play out. That was 6 months ago now. Can you believe we've been on the story for 6 months? Let it just play out. Don't pay attention to the sensationalism, aka what the defense is telling you and what Turtleboy is telling you isn't real. It's sensationalist. Even though 3 months prior to that, Helena complimented my work about the Lindsay Clancy story. And she said it was, what is it, thoughtful and compelling or something, she said. And so I'm like, she was a fan until she's not a fan. And now all of a sudden she's saying I'm committing witness intimidation, and she's demanding that we all stop protesting Jen McCabe. Sorry, not going to happen, dear. Not going to happen. So there's her. That's Helena Rafferty. All right, next. Then we, oh God. Oh, okay. I'm not saying anything. All right, then we have James Marathis. So James is he was the owner of Center Fields, which is what the waterfall used to be called. And Center Fields is significant because that is the bar that Chris Albert was at when he got in a fight with the Lapalato brothers in 2007. And then, like the little bitch that he is, Chris went and cried to his buddy Michael Lank, who was also out drinking that night. And Michael Lank clocked into work after having 4 beers and wrongfully arrested the Lapalato brothers because Chris Albert told him to. And not only were they acquitted, then they also sued the town. And then for his incompetence, Lank was promoted not once, but twice. He's now a lieutenant in the Canton Police Department. So he gets to get a pension with a lot more. Charles in charge, right? Man, people used to get dressed up for school photos, huh? Even in the public schools. That's impressive. Okay. And then there's Charles Duty. So Charles Duty, of course, is the town administrator for Canton and was the fire chief on the day that John O'Keefe was found dead. So it was his department. Obviously, they responded to it. And Charles Duty has a daughter named Catherine, whose name was intentionally spelt wrong by Michael Proctor because she was inside 34 Fairview Road on the night that John O'Keefe was killed on that property. In that property, not on, inside, because John was in the house. Let's be very clear about that. John was inside the house. So Charles Duty, of course. So he's got family ties to this, obviously. And ultimately, he's in charge of the town, right? He's in charge of everything. And instead of, holding his departments responsible, what did he do? He sent out an email to them all. Don't talk to the public. He contributed to this culture of silence in town that you were not to talk about this cover up that our police department and everyone else, helped participate in. We don't talk about that because if we do talk about that, then people are going to find out my daughter's there and I don't want my daughter tied to this. And all of my daughter's friends were there too, as we're going to see. So there's Charles Duty. There he is with his daughter. Okay. Now we're on to class of 86. Oh my God. So Brian Albert did not go to hold on, I'm getting the video right here. Let me send this to myself. See video. Okay. Brian Albert did not go to Canton High School. He went to Zavarian. And I think he's the oldest of the Albert kids. I think I don't know where the sister fits in. They have a sister too. Kathleen, I think her name is. But he just looks like such a meathead here, huh? Such a goober. So he went to Zavarian. He went to Catholic school. And I don't know if the Alberts. Well, so I don't know if he, hold on. I got the video of Brian Albert here. I want to show you. I got a video of Brian Albert like sucking toes. Hold, you guys want to see it? Check this out real quick. So this is Brian Albert at a bar in Boston, a cop bar, I believe, sent to us by a turtle rider. So here he is drunk. Let me change the audio real quick. All right, here we go. Can I expand this? No, I can't.
I would consider this to be a good sized toe, and I would not be scared of it.
Wait, was that his toe? Why is it so? This isn't the original video, right? I think there's sender. I think you have a better version of this video that's not so vertical. So he's like taking his feet out at the bar. What's he saying?
I would consider this to be a good sized toe, and I would not be scared of it.
So it's like he's taking some other guy's toe.
I would consider this to be a good sized toe, and I would not be scared of it.
Oh, just hear his voice. You know that Brian Albert just thinks he's the shit. You know, girls are around drinking. Look at me. Oh, look at this fucking toe. You want to get towed? You into kinky shit? Come on down to 34 Fairview Road. Wait till you see what Matt McCabe does. He'll just sit in the corner and watch. Just come on down. We'll touch each other's toes. It'll be fun. Anyway, back to, I don't know what that video is, to be perfectly honest with you. Apparently he just takes toes out at bars and shows women toes. I don't know. I guess that impresses them. But here's Brian Albert. And look what it says here. It says activities. Wrestling, favorite saying, bring it to me. Oh my God. Of course it says that. Settle down. Remember when we went to Canton High School with BT and CC to discipline JG. And Canton people have told me that what they're referring to there is they went to Canton High School to like beat someone up. Like, this is what he writes in his yearbook. Like, this is what he's remembered as. Like, so what do you remember at high school, Brian? Did you play sports? What was your favorite class? What do you remember the most? Any friendships that you built there? Anything? Zavarian brothers? Oh, yeah. Remember that one time we went down to Canton High School? We kicked that guy's ass? That was awesome. That was dope. That's what that's a reference to. That's what Canton people are telling me, that he went down there. I guess the guy disrespected his sister. So he's got it, because you don't disrespect an Albert in Canton. So some public school kid talking shit about my sister, I'm gonna go down and kick his ass. Cape Cod, Nicole, love you, dude. He wrote, like, Nicole is that's Nicole Albert, like that again. They all married their freaking high school sweetheart and shit in this town too. Then none of them are leaving. So Nicole, love you. A parting note, thanks mom, dad, and Gramps. Couldn't have done it without you. Now it's my turn. And so, yeah, check that. See this video? See this screenshot right here? So I think it was either Michelle Reardon, so that would be or Denise Galvin, one of them. Somebody sent me a video that they have on their channel for Allie McCabe. It's like 12 years of Allie McCabe with this corny ass music about her like growing up. And I watched the whole thing. I forgot to download it, but I screenshotted. I took like 200 screenshots of all the pictures in there because I've never seen some of these pictures before. And I began inserting them into this blog for the first time. I've never shown those screenshots for. This is one of them. That's Brian with Allie. And within like 5 hours, the video was gone. They removed it. Like, that shows how much these people read every single thing that I write and show. Because, like, I put up, like, shit, better take down this video of our priceless memories. Yeah. So, yeah, Brian Albert's voice, dude, does not match what you think. Like, when you hear his voice, you're almost disappointed. You're like, what? That guy? That's what he sounds like? Oh, yikes. Yeah, keep me updated on the Louisville Notre Dame score, please. Season's over, obviously, if we lose tonight. I thought we were just going to roast them, but apparently not. You know, whatever. Typical Notre Dame. Anyway, so there's Brian Albert. Next up. So yeah, these are all the Alberts. Let's see if we know them all. Do you guys know them all? You know your Alberts? Who do we have here? We have obviously Chicken Parm Charlie. Look at them with the cargo pants. What year is this? Oh, they just look so sloppy dressed up. Then you got Tim. Tim's the baby, I guess. Then you have Brendan. I don't know much about him. Then there's Keith. He's a Keith. There's Brian, Kevin, and I think this is Kathleen. I think that's her name. I don't know if she's the oldest or if Brian's the oldest. So there's, 7 of them? 7 kids. Okay. And then the Albert parents. So there's that. So in 87, Bill Burr graduated. We got to get Bill Burr to chime in on this. Has Bill Burr said anything about this? He went to Canton High School. I like Bill Burr. Bill Burr's a funny-ass comedian and keeps it real. One of those, like, I don't know. He's like not like one of those unwoke comedians. So he'll always, he'll never bow to the mob. He's funny. But I do wonder what his thoughts on this are. It's not funny to talk about this, but imagine Bill Burr started talking about this and started calling him out. We'll see. Doubtful, but okay. So class of 88. Now this was an interesting connection. Tom Kelleher and Nicole Albert. I don't care, man. Say what you want about Nicole Albert's hair. Nicole Albert was the best looking girl in all these photos. Best looking one by far. Like much better looking than Jen. Much better looking than Jen. The hair, it was the time. That's not her biggest crime. Her biggest crime is helping to cover up a murder. But the hair, we're not going to get on her for the hair. But this was wild to me when I put this together, like 88, because they live across the street from each other. And Tom Kelleher has 3 ring cameras on his house that point across the street. Now, keep in mind, the Commonwealth's new theory is that Karen Reed pulled up 62 feet in front of 32 Fairview Road, which would be directly across the street from Tom Kelleher's house at 31 Fairview Road. So the ring cameras definitely would have picked that up. Like it would have the whole murder on tape. Everything is on. It's all there. It would also have, if somebody came out in a Ford Edge at 3:00 in the morning, it would have that. And it would probably have the Ford Edge's license plate as well. Just saying. But Proctor never asked for it. As far as it's not even in any reports that we've read. Nothing about 31 Fairview Road. And isn't that convenient? They've known each other since they graduated together in 88. You don't think that Brian Albert felt like we're safe? We can put a body on the front lawn because the guy across the street from us went to high school with my wife. I've known him for forever. We don't have to worry about that. And fast fact too, there's Tom Kelleher. Oh my God. There you people with the memes. Tom Kelleher, apparently, I'm told, shot himself with his dad's service weapon. As I don't know how old he was when that happened. He survived. That's just what I'm told. And of course, his dad was a cop. I don't know if his granddad was a cop too in Canton. There's no freaking way this guy's going to do anything to harm Brian Albert. And he's the deputy chief, man. Yeah, is that his father? Yeah, this is his father. Now, I believe I couldn't get, Chris Albert, Chicken Parm Charlie did not go to Canton High School. And I think he's the second oldest male Albert. He just looks goofy there too. He went to Zavarian too, I'm told. I don't know why, but they need a refund. The Albert family should get a refund on their tuition because the Zavarian Catholic schools, the brothers, whatever, what a ripoff. Like, it was your job to educate this man. He can't add or subtract or multiply. He can't do his taxes. He can barely speak. He doesn't know what CASA stands for. Like, come on. Give the Albert family their money back for this man's tuition to Zavarian High School. What a waste of money. Oh, and there's Chris. This is we got you, Chris. I never showed you this picture before, did I? There's Chris and Julie who owe, I think, $26,000 in taxes again in the most recent filings, tax liens. And there he is at Twin River Casino, just walking around, playing the slots, wasting more money instead of paying back the money that he owes to the town. I mean, he's stealing from the town. When you have all these tax liens, somebody made a good post about it in Canton Confidential today. I think it was Angela. That, you know, when you don't pay your taxes, I don't know, how is that even possible, by the way? How do you not pay taxes? I didn't know that was an option. I didn't know I could just not write a check. Like, I don't know about you guys. With the mortgage, it's all just factored in there. They just add it all together. Like, here's what you're paying every month. Your escrow, the taxes, it's all in there because I don't want to pay extra taxes. You know what I mean? They can just pay it all together. Isn't that what you guys do with the mortgage? Apparently, Chris doesn't. Apparently, he pays the taxes separately and he just doesn't pay the taxes. That's what I'm told. And of course, in these towns, what funds everything? Property taxes. Like, that's why property value is important. Because property taxes pay for everything. Schools, all that stuff. Was it his business taxes? Yeah. It's the tax for the business. Is that what it is? Again, I didn't know that was an option. I didn't know it was an option. Just not pay taxes. It's wild to me. He just never pays taxes. So that, and it just doesn't catch up to him. He may have paid off the house. He sold the house. Chris Albert did kill a guy, by the way. A lot of people forget that. He sold the house for like what, $700,000, like shortly before John was killed. So like, where'd that money go, Chris? Anyway, so there's Chris. Okay, let me take a quick break here to read some turtle chats. Give me a moment, and we got some cash apps as well. So let me read some. Okay, first we got here. All right. Do we read Kyle's? Let's see. Okay. All right. We have Tracy sends $15. Tracy's comment is, are you down for trap shooting at Fox and Coon tomorrow at noon? That's the hunting club right down the street for me. I don't, what's trap shooting? Like, you get them in a trap and you shoot them? I'm good. I hear you guys shooting down there all the time. It's pleasant. I like the sound of it. I like living in the country, but maybe tomorrow. I mean, it's Sunday, you know, it's football day, and I got the kids all day, so there's that. Okay. And by the way, it's like we had flag football today. My son is so into flag football, like a lot. He's playing flag football for the first time. He's small. He's a small guy. I could show. Maybe I'll show you at the end. I don't know. He scored his first touch. They played the Wolverines yesterday. He's the Bruins, and he scored his first touchdown yesterday. And today they always switch positions. He threw his first completed pass. He's better than Mac Jones. It went to his own teammate today, so it was a big day for us. So that's what I do on the weekends is kid shit. But anyway, so let's keep reading these. Okay, and then we have here MJ sends $50. Thank you, MJ. She says, in honor of my 17-month-old granddaughter, Eliza, who passed away 2 years ago yesterday. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry about that, MJ. But we're thinking about your 17-month-year-old granddaughter, Eliza. God bless her. Kyle sends $25 with the message, Kate. I hate even saying this, but again, he pays for it, so I'm going to say it. Kate needs to go back to attacking retards on YouTube because right now it's like watching a fat kid struggle to get the bottom Pringle. Whenever I think I have girl problems, Turtleboy, you're my reminder. Yeah, I'm the guy, like, I have girl problems with people I've never slept with. Like, that's usually that level of crazy and obsession is, you know, dedicated for somebody who you've been in a relationship with before. But I mean, we've seen this individual, right? We've seen what she looks like. Like, yeah, no, thank you. No, pass. But yeah, I don't even want to give this person attention, and I'm not going to, but he donated $25. So I'm going to read what he wrote. So there's that. So yeah, again, completely irrelevant. I don't even know what is happening. I don't pay attention. So there's that. Okay, next we have David sends $10. I think it says pending. Okay. And he says the Turtle Riders are clamoring for a new Saturday freestyle. I know I need to bring the freestyle back. I've been slacking with the freestyles ever since Canton started. I've only done one since then. A lot of new people don't know that I'm actually a freestyle rapper on the side, so maybe you need to bring that back. All right, Melissa sends $10 and says the following. She says, add in some yearbook superlatives for the key players. We could, I suppose, but thank you very much for the dono there. Next up, we have Steve sends $10 with the comment. Hey, hi, Unc. Fate turns out I may be heading out to Canton for business. I might be famished for a chicken parm and a Diet Coke. I hope I don't get murdered. Should I be on the lookout? Well, I don't know how to pronounce this. Kayo? Is that how you pronounce it? Kalu? Will he kick me out? Dude, don't go to Dean. Get a real pizza. Get real food. You don't want to get it from there. Jim Ferris is going to be rude to you. You don't want to do that. It's going to get ugly. But hope you enjoy your time in Canton. Next up, we have, was that Steve C. send that? Next is Jess sends $20 with the comment. No comment. But thank you very much, Jess. I appreciate the dono, the turtle chat. Next turtle chat we have is from Jody, sends $50 with the comment, keep up the great work, Aidan. We, the people, will not tolerate this corruption. Canton needs a thorough douching. What a total disgrace. You're goddamn right. It doesn't need a good douching. So go sign that recall if you live in Canton. Or that petition tomorrow at 4 to 6 at Starbucks. 4 to 6 at Starbucks. All right. Next up, we have Cookie. Cookie sends $10 with the comment. Chris Albert is so trashy he can't even pay for pepperoni. He can only employ his Jim Ferris and the middle finger kid, roast beef Ronnie. Denise Galvin ruined my town for everyone else, as well as the rest of the Alberts. D&E Pizza seemed to have a monopoly over sponsoring pizza at all the school events. So true about that. Like every school event is sponsored by D&E Pizza. And that, again, it's not like Chris is like making bank off that, whatever. But it's just like it's so emblematic of the favoritism that the Alberts get. Like, why does that pizza shop get to do all this? Like, they're the ones that get paid to do all the school events. And by the way, Julie Albert is the treasurer for Canton High School PTO. Like, that woman should not be near any money, or like the booster club. How many stories in these towns have you seen where like the treasurer of the Pop Warner Football League or something stole money? It happens all the time. You do not want to let shady people anywhere near money that's supposed to be for kids. And there's that. Okay. Next up, we have $10 one, I think, from, let's see, from Frank. Says O-E-O-A-A ting ting walla walla bing bang. O-E-O-A-A ting ting walla walla bang bang. Colin Albert was in the house. Yes, he was. Don't forget that. Colin Albert was inside the house when John O'Keefe was killed. We don't know for sure that he was actually the one who murdered John O'Keefe. It's not our job to find that out. It's the job of the police, particularly the state police. But when the lead detective is Michael Proctor and he's a close family friend of the Albert family and has known Colin Albert his entire life, good luck with figuring out, getting to the bottom of that. It says more about, it's not about what they did, it's about what they didn't do. That's what it was. Okay, we got a couple cash apps here. Let's see. Let's see, a few cash apps to read off. Okay. Gene sends $25 and says, free Karen. Love from Green Sea, South Carolina. Excellent. Thank you very much, Gene. Jamie sends $10 and says, Daddy, I just want to hear you say, Daddy. Daddy's here. Daddy's here. Okay. Next up is Chrissy sends $20 and says they should have called 911. Loses. Thanks, Aidan. You're very welcome, Chrissy. I appreciate that. Greg sends $10. He's got no comment, but we appreciate the dono, Greg. Carrie sends $25. Is there? I didn't get a comment from her either. Okay, so thank you, Carrie, for the dono. Appreciate that. Patrick sends $10 and says, keep it going from Warwick, Rhode Island. I believe it's called Warrack, actually. You have a famous rap group down there that I've done several blogs about. Appreciate that. Jim Ferris Bueller sends $10 and says, if you were a dinosaur, you would be Gorgosaurus. Okay, Jim. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, Jim. And then Jim sends another $10 and says, your body is made up of 70% water. Now I'm thirsty. Okay, keep it in your pants there, Jim. Keep it in your pants. I appreciate the dono. You people. Sharon sends $15 and says, keep exposing truth. Will do, Sharon. That's my plan. Thank you. Natalie sends $10 and says, you need to school True Crime Daily. And it just stops there. What's True Crime Daily? Was that show with like 1 million subs or whatever? We do need to school them. Leanne sends $5 and says, to never see B. Albert toes ever again. I don't think that was his toe. I think it was another guy's toe. So I appreciate that, Leanne. And Colby sends $1 and says, free Karen Read. Thank you very much for that. Again, if anyone else wants to donate, the link to the Turtle Chat is at the top of this stream. You can click on that, or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy. And you get to write a message. I will read it out loud to the class. Again, I graciously appreciate any and all donations to keep this going. Louisville's up 17-13. Okay, cool. Fourth quarter now? Hopefully not. We need some time to come back. Okay, cool. We got one more from Wade Stevens real quick. Let me read Wade Stevens. Dono here. Hold on. Where are you at? Thought I had one from Wade Stevens. Got it. Where did Wade Stevens go? We'll come back. I'm sure it'll come in. I'll get you, Wade, when we get back. But anyway, why don't we do something we haven't done in a while right now? 5.25 million, a channel talked about this, and they got it wrong. Is that the one with the two women on it? And then I thought they did a good job at some points, but then they were like, they fell for the whole, we don't like them booing the family. Oh my God. I hate how that narrative is like that lie, that complete lie that we have booed the family. We never booed the family. It's a complete lie. I'm on tape telling them not to boo the family. It's the exact opposite of that. So anyway, let's see. Hell yeah, I suck toes. I remember that line. That's a good one. All right. Anyway, so let's get back to the yearbook story. So 1989, we had Stephen Saraf, Officer Saraf, Michael Loughran, Scott Brown, and those three. So Stephen Saraf is one of the 5 officers who responded to 34 Fairview Road. He's obviously been on for a while because he graduated in 1989. But again, that would be 1 year behind Nicole Albert. So he probably has known Nicole Albert most of his life, right? And I guarantee the Canton High School kids all knew who Brian Albert was, because you know who the kids are in your town who go to Catholic school. They're the douchebags, right? At least mine, it's like everybody knew who the kids in Worcester who went to St. John's and St. Peter Marian were. They were the douchebags. That's just a fact. And like you saw them at parties and stuff like that, but you're like, that's the kid that goes to Catholic school and is a douchebag. That's his thing. So there's no way that Saraf didn't know Nicole Albert and Brian Albert, who's inside the house and never came out. And there's no way he didn't know Jen McCabe, Nicole Albert's little sister, who's on the scene, clearly getting to him. So there's Saraf, and then we had who's this one? Oh, Michael Loughran. So again, I'm only putting him on there just to show you that, like, on the Board of Selectmen, there's what? 5 members of the Board of Selectmen? Theodore, Connolly, Loughran, all graduate from Canton High School. Chris went to Zavarian, I think, and I don't know where McCourt went. Probably Canton High School. Like, let's be real. I don't know. But he's on there too. Again, he's the brother of Lucky, who is really the good guy in this because he's being honest and he's telling the truth. He's not participating in the cover-up. So there's that. And then we had this guy, Scott Brown. Scott Brown is the brother of a woman named Katie Brown. Katie Brown is like BFFs with, I think he's on the police department, and he's BFFs with, or she's BFFs with Jill Daniels and company. She's in that class of 98. Okay, so there's that. All right. And that's his son, I believe. Kevin, who is in tons of pictures with Bang Bang. There he is. Okay. Then there's class of 1990 that had Lucky Loughran and this douchebag, Michael Lank. Of all the people that we profiled in this yearbook, I think the biggest asshole looking one of them all was Michael Lank. Tell me this guy, what this guy was in high school. Everybody knows had a Michael Lank in their high school. Did they not? Like, he just reeks of douchebag. He reeks like jock, he looks like the kid that gave you a swirly, if you did your homework and you didn't hand it over to him, let him copy during first period. How do you have, and by the way, how do you have a picture like this in the goddamn yearbook? Like, what is this for? Most humorous? And what, like, okay, so what's funny in Canton? Like, this is kind of emblematic. This is what counts as humor in Canton. Oh, I put two bitches in a headlock. Shit's hilarious. Remember when I choked a bitch? That was funny. I choked her out. She couldn't breathe. It's funny. It's funny. That's what we do at parties. I take two girls with the Nicole Albert haircut and I put them in a headlock. It's just funny. Everybody laughs. I'm humorous. I'm humorous Michael Lank. That's what I do here. Oh yeah, he took the keg and drank it. When he busted the keg parties, he's like, nice. We're gonna have a late night tonight. Oh yeah. He looks like Papelbon. He doesn't look like a Papelbon. Oh my god, they look so like. How does this get in the yearbook? It's like, we're gonna do something funny. You know what we'll do? I'm gonna pose with two women in the headlock. It's funny. It's just funny. This meathead, absolute freaking meathead. And again, Lank is essential to this. Lank is one of the responding officers in the Sandra Birchmore case. Graduated in 1990, obviously, from Canton High School, but he's also has known the Alberts quite obviously for like a long time. He's directly in between Nicole and Jen's graduating year, and 1 year ahead of Kevin Albert. And so he's the only one on paper, according to his reports, that went inside 34 Fairview Road that day. He went inside that morning. It is unacceptable for him not to have asked Brian Albert to search the house. Unacceptable. Like, we got to have a look around, Brian. Just, you know why we need to have a look around? Because we need to eliminate you as a suspect. You can even frame it that way. We just got to do our job, Brian. We just got to, they call him the fixer in town. He's the guy that got, whatchamacallit. And I was class clown too. I don't know if that counts as most humorous. Like, I was voted class clown, but I wasn't the class clown because I put bitches in a headlock. It's because I did other weird, amusing things. But anyway, Michael Lank was the fixer. He's the one that Chris Albert called while off duty to arrest the Lapalata brothers. All around meathead, the all-American meathead, Michael Lank, and is promoted to lieutenant now as a result of this, and never searched the house, never did anything like that. And also was specifically called by Jennifer McCabe. She calls the Canton Police Department at 9 o'clock and asks for Lank to come back to the house. Him, no one else. And and at 9 o'clock, we're going to talk about Jennifer McCabe in a little bit. That is when I hit him starts. That's when that bullshit starts. It's 9 o'clock. There he is. And everybody was fiending Lucky. All the ladies I saw in the comments were like, Lucky Loughran was the best looking one. Do you guys think, is that true? I'm a heterosexual male, so I don't really feel like my opinion on how men look is important or relevant because it's not like legitimate. Like I don't know what the fuck, you know what I mean? I'm not attracted. I can't do it. My opinion means nothing. But a lot of women were saying that he was the most attractive man in the yearbook. People are saying no, he was. See, Lauren, yes, Lauren's a woman. There you go. She counts. Her opinion matters more than me, so there's that. Anyway, so there's Lucky. So that was 1990. 1990. All right. So we're going to get to those reports in a little bit. 1991, we have Kevin Albert. Of course, he's Mr. Jock there, most athletic. And he is obviously the sergeant detective for the Canton Police Department. Let's not forget his boss, Berkowitz, who was not the active chief at the time, went on his own free time and volition to search Fairview Road and just was driving by 34 Fairview Road when he found more taillight. And one of his employees is Kevin Albert, the brother of Brian Albert. And obviously, Berkowitz, by the way, did not go to Canton High School. Berkowitz is from Needham. He's all the way from Needham, which is like a whole 2 towns away, up 95. So he did not graduate from Canton High School. Anyway, there is Kevin Albert. All right, next. Hold on, I'm getting a message here. Oh, that was Gooley's toe. He was rubbing on Eddie Hernandez, the other cop that he punched out. Oh, great. Notre Dame's down 24-13. Awesome. Great. All right. Anyway, so there's Kevin Albert. Sorry. This freeze on me, FUPA computer. Oh, great. Do we have a FUPA computer thing here? Hold on. Can you guys just hear my face but not see me? Am I not moving? Is that what's happening right now? Not moving. Yeah. What's happening right now? Hold on. It happened again. I got to X out of this. Yeah. Hold on. It happened again. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're back. That was easy. We're back. Thanks for not going anywhere. Nice to see you people still. All right, let's get back on this. So now, what year are we at back up to now? We are up to. What happened? I didn't know your phone can play YouTube now when it's off. All right. What year are we on? 91. So we just did Kevin Albert. We'll start banging through this. Let's get somewhere. So 90. Let's see. Where'd it go? Come on. Kevin Albert. Keith Albert. I don't know anything about Keith Albert. He's one of these Alberts that like laid low and we never talk about him because he doesn't own a pizza shop in town. But he looks like a douchebag, doesn't he? And I guess, who did he impregnate? He impregnated Katie Brown. His son is also close friends with Colin Albert. Oh, so I think that's his son who's in all those pictures. So that would be the other Brown's nephew, right? Okay, so he knocked her up. So there's that. Class of 94. The 94 was a big year. All right, we got who do we have here? Brendan Albert, who I don't know much about. He's the other Albert you don't hear much about. He's just the 7th of 8 Albert children. And then, of course, there's Julie Ann Daniels, the wife of Chicken Parm Charlie, who, little side deals she's got going on. Side dick. And she apparently I bet you if Julie Daniels had one thing to say about Turtleboy a couple years ago, I bet it would be some. I bet you she would not want to be featured on Turtleboy. Let's just right, Julie. Right, Julie. You got wait till this is all said and done, folks. We are gonna have a good laugh about that. Remember that one. Remember that one. So there's Julie. She married Chicken Parm Charlie and inherited all his debt. So that's her life. And Colin Albert came out of her snatch. So that's not good. That's definitely not something to be proud of. She raised Colin Albert. Okay. And then there's this woman, Megan O'Toole. She's actually the best looking, let's be honest. But she's Meg Kennedy now. And she's one of those people that messaged me like right before I wrote this blog and told me that like more is going to come out. You'll see, like, defended the Alberts. That's when I realized when I first read about this story, I'm like, oh, this is over. The story will be over in a week. Charge is going to get dropped, whatever. But I underestimated just how committed these people are to the lie and how little fucks they give and how confident they are that the system works for them. And she's one of them. She's a guidance counselor, I guess, a former guidance counselor at Stoughton High School. I was told she was Sandra Birchmore's guidance counselor. Oops, missed that one. You know, the grooming and the sexual abuse. She was having sex with a cop when she was 15. Missed that one. I mean, what do you do, guidance counselor? So that's Meg Kennedy. Then we had Mary Elizabeth Teague. She is now known as Mary Albert. She's one of the lucky ones. She got to marry an Albert. She is Kevin's wife. Kevin's wife, Mary Albert. And then, of course, the one that needs no introduction, Satan incarnate herself, Jennifer Weeks McCabe, somehow was voted best looking. Don't know how. But, oh my God! Look at this transformation. Ready? Oh my God, dude! Oh no. So there's Mary Albert, Kevin, Jen, Matt McCabe, of course. Matt McCabe's from Stoughton. I don't know what year he graduated. Probably should have put him in this as well. And these are the pictures, by the way, that I got from Denise Reardon's or Michelle Reardon or Denise Galvin's YouTube video. This is like, dude, this is they saw this and they immediately took the video down. I got more of these too, and I'm going to share them all. That's her with Ali. Like, dude, evil. And there they are. I think this is like their middle school yearbook. Brandon Albert. Okay. And how awesome is this? Most talkative, Julie Daniels, and Jen McCabe is shutting her up. Is that not foreshadowing, folks? These are all the pictures I got. Okay. So there's that. Okay. 95 was Tim Albert, the Fredo of the family with the sweet mullet. The mullet, I went to school in the 90s. Just to be clear, the mullet was never in style. He chose to do this. Apparently, he couldn't grow a rat tail, so he went with the mullet. And his biggest claim to fame, of course, is he once owned a pool before filling it in with dirt. And then he shared a Facebook meme that ended up in Alan Jackson's affidavit, threatening anybody who fucks with his family. So that's his contribution to the family, is threatening other people. And there he is with my friend Jill, etc. Okay, 1996. This is his baby mama, Lisa Corsilio. She is one of the admins of the Albert McCabe and O'Keefe support group, and also the Proctor support group, which is weird because the Proctors don't know any of these people. So yeah, there's her. Oh my God, look at them. Look at these boobs. Okay, but let's not forget Norwood and Stoughton. In 1997, there's Lunchbox Lally. He graduated from Norwood High School, a neighboring town of Canton. And as you guys can see, you guys see what club he was in? The Friendship Club. He was in the goddamn French. Oh, dude. There's a club called the Friendship Club. Really? The Friendship Club. And of course, he's the president of the Friendship Club. He wants friends. So everybody join. If you got to join a club to have friends, that doesn't count. That doesn't count as having friends. That's just an association of losers. So there's Lunchbox. He failed at that too. He wasn't even good at the Friendship Club. He couldn't even do that. All right, so there's Lunchbox Lally. All right, these guys I just threw in there. So Lieutenant just to show you how everybody is from the area. Like a lot of people went to Stoughton too. And these guys, of course, John Fanning was the lieutenant in charge of the Sandra Birchmore case, who did some shady shit in that, like didn't look into things the way he should have. And I don't know if this other guy's a bad trooper, but he's also a trooper. Like, it's just weird how they all became police in the same area. It's just like they all know each other. Like, that's the reason I'm putting this in there. They all know each other, all of them. Anyway, 98 was a big year at Canton High School, of course. We have Officer Sean Good, now Sergeant Good. We had, there she is in all her glory, Jill Daniels, the lovely Jill Daniels. We had Katie Brown, one of, she reproduced a child that is best friends with Jill Daniels' godson, Colin Albert. And she works at Canton High School, of course. So the high school is infested with these people. And then we have Courtney Proctor. Courtney Proctor lives 0.4 miles from 34 Fairview Road. And I'm quite positive if the police actually looked into this, they will find out. I would bet you anything she knows all about this. There's no way she doesn't. She loved Colin Albert. Like, Michael Proctor doesn't have social media, so you can't see anything like he posts. But this woman would like always talk about how much she loved Colin Albert, not the other two, just Colin. It gets weird how much they love that kid. But there's that. And Good, of course, was one of the 5 officers who responded that day. Now think about that. Think about that. He gets the call to go there that day as the desk sergeant. And the scene that he's responding to has a body on the front lawn of a man who was very likely killed by people in that house, including Jill Daniels' nephew and godson, Colin. How is that not a conflict? We got a picture of them all together recently. They all still party and hang out and shit. How can you, like, that's not, you can't have an unbiased investigation if that's the case, period. So there she is. Yeah. There's Katie Brown, etc. Okay. Class of 99 at Norwood. We have forensic expert and Westfield State graduate, Nicholas Guarino. I looked into the class he took, by the way, because he's certified. He took a 4-day class, guys. It was almost a full week. Almost a full week. And he's an expert now in forensic. He just doesn't know that you can delete messages and retrieve them. You can delete retrieve messages. So when you did the full data extraction of Jen McCabe's phone and he missed all of those, it was just they didn't teach him that at Westfield State or at the 4-day training that he did. So there's that. I'm with stupid. There he is. Okay. Class of 2000, in my grade, we have Michael Proctor. Oh, what a douche. There he is, named Bear. Oh, what a meathead. Oh, I hate him so much. I fucking hate him. We still don't know how he became the lead detective, but none of this happens without Michael Proctor. He's a dirty piece of shit cop. We all know who he is. And there's that. 2002, a gentleman by the name of Yuri Bukaki. He was voted best dressed, actually. That's where this Abercrombie, he's best. He wears Abercrombie, guys. He's an important guy. He's important. And he was on, he graduated from Stoughton High School in 2002. His brother, and I think we talked about this in a previous show, like that's underreported. The fact that his brother, Bo, who is a Westboro cop, was in a picture with Brian and Kevin Albert in 2019 drinking together in Washington, D.C. So they know each other. Like the Buchanans know the Alberts. Underreported. But he is, of course, Proctor's boss. He knows all about Proctor's illegal activities, and he's 100% complicit in everything that he did. 2003, I don't know who any of these people are. My source that did this for me, Tim Taylor, Ensley Cotard, James Galinas. We didn't have a full roster of the Canton Police Department, but I bet you if you go through that roster, I would bet that at least 60 to 70% of officers in that town graduated from Canton High School. Because, you go to 2003, we found 3 cops. We just went through a random year. We found 3 current Canton police cops. So there's that. Okay. Again, I'm not saying these guys are complicit in anything. Okay. What I'm just saying here is that this is a town where the police department is run by people who are from that town and are not going to disrupt the status quo. No one is. So they stopped showing the online yearbooks in 2012. And so now we go to like the second generation of douchebags. And we have in 2014, Katie McLaughlin. She was the firefighter who responded to the scene and allegedly and she lied. Either she lied or Proctor. I think it's more likely that she didn't actually say what Proctor said she said. Because Proctor lied about what Michael Trotta said. We caught him in that lie. He's lied about what Karen Reed said. He lied about what Matt McCabe said about the 3-point turn. So we can't trust anything written in Michael Proctor's reports. He lied about what time he got to Dighton and towed Karen Reed's car, the murder weapon. Lied about all that. And so Katie McLaughlin allegedly said that Karen Reed said, I hit him. Not like question mark, whatever. Now, Karen Reed did say on, was it Dateline, that it was preceded by a did and preceded by a question mark. So it seems like she is saying that at some point she asked that question. But it clearly was not anything that any cops heard, as we're going to get to. And there she is. She's best friends with, this is Caitlin Albert. There they are at spring break together. So isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient? I hope it's resting on her soul, what's happening right now. Of course, Caitlin Albert also graduated that year. Caitlin Albert said that she left at 12:15, or she didn't say she left because she wasn't questioned. Her parents said she left at 12:15. Okay. Got picked up there by Tristan Morris, who was out to dinner with them at 7:30. And where did Tristan go? Where did Tristan Morris go? Tristan Morris, by the way, also owns a Ford Edge. Just saying. And Mulaney was one of the 2 responding officers at the scene as well. Okay. So there's that. All right. Next one. 2016. Julie Nagel and Sarah Levinson. Julie Nagel is the one who went outside, called her brother Ryan for a ride home, went outside, told him made him wait 5 minutes, came outside while John obviously witnessed John O'Keefe getting beaten up, and then came outside and told her brother, I'm all set, actually. I lied. I don't need a ride home. I'm going to sleep here. But then didn't sleep there. Got a ride home from Jennifer McCabe herself at 1:47 a.m. Now, they hid the name of Sarah Levinson, who also graduated in 2016. She was a cheerleader. She is a nurse now. And Sarah Levinson was inside the house when this happened, and they kept her name hidden. Like, Jen McCabe lied in several reports about like who she drove home. At first, she said she only drove Julie Nagel home. They intentionally hid Sarah Levinson because I think Sarah Levinson was a real problem for them. Keep in mind, and I said this on Turtle Club the other night, these girls, and they're young girls, they witnessed something horrific, man. Imagine that, witnessing that, seeing a guy come in the house, and then 5 minutes later, he's bleeding everywhere. And it was probably screaming, and it was probably so loud, dude, so loud. And she witnessed all that. She's probably traumatized from it. And that's not to make her a victim. She's part of the problem because she's not telling the truth about what happened. She hid her, like immediately. I think the Alberts and the McCabe's immediately realized this girl is a problem. We need to make sure that nobody knows she was here because we don't want any cops talking to her. Right? Because, again, the key is the less people involved in a conspiracy, the better. They make a fair point when they say, how could all these people participate in a conspiracy? How could they all do that? Well, it's really only 4. they questioned 4 people: Matt McCabe, Jen McCabe, Brian Albert, Nicole Albert. They questioned them all together at the friends and family meeting. That's it. They intentionally left out all of the other people who were inside that house, particularly Colin Albert and Sarah Levinson, because they were liabilities. They couldn't control what they said. Jen had to be in charge of it all. Anyway, that's her. And Julie Nagel, of course, sucks. She needs to come forward and tell the truth. And they came forward 9 months later, and Julie said that she saw a shadowy figure, I think it was, on the front lawn. What does that mean, a shadowy figure? Where'd the shadow come from? Was the sun out? Shadowy? What does that mean? What's a shadow? She can't say she saw a dead body, because why didn't you call the cops? So, and since not a single person in the house claims they saw a dead body, that's suspicious in and of itself. So she went with shadowy figure, which clearly she was coached to say, probably by Jennifer McCabe. So there they are. She can't get. Sarah Liz is her dating profile. She says, my greatest strength is I can't get brain freeze. I would say your greatest strength, Sarah, is you're good at covering up murders. You're good at keeping your mouth shut and going along with the status quo. I mean, she's not bad looking, but not a fan of the murder shit. All right, 2017 was Brian Albert Jr., Goliath, who for some reason is not suspected of being involved in the beating at all, was inside the house the entire night. And none of us has ever been like, you know who did that? Brian Albert. Because he's just goofy looking. Catherine Doody, Charles Doody's daughter. Mary Kent, who was in the house, and her mother is good friends with the McAlberts. And Emily Fabiano, whose mother apparently was taking pictures of me at the most recent protest I held at D&E Pizza. All of their names were in the report. Fabiano, Doody, and Levinson, Nagel, and Caitlin Albert, and all their names were misspelled. Now, this is Allie McCabe, and this is Brian Albert. They're obviously cousins. Keep in mind, they want us to believe that Allie McCabe went over her cousin's house for his birthday and didn't go inside the house. She was just there to pick up Colin, because Colin had a curfew. Colin had to leave before the fun started. And so they want us to believe that Allie McCabe went over there to pick up Colin Albert and didn't say happy birthday to Brian Albert Jr. It was his birthday. Okay, sure thing. Yeah, that adds up. So that's 2000. And there's Mary Kent. This is Mary Kent's mother, who's also named Mary Kent. She says, it's about time, sharing the Morrissey video. And that shows how entitled these people. It's about time you did something for us, Morrissey. It's dance, puppet dance. You work for us, Morrissey. It's about time you told these people to stop asking questions and stop protesting. It needs to stop. Right. It's about time. I've known this family for over 45 years. Oh, Notre Dame's getting killed. It's over. Damn it. I've known this family for 45 years. It doesn't that say it all? Doesn't that say it all? And so does everyone else. And so does everyone else. They are good people because I said so. They couldn't have done any. Her first 2 sentences here are the problem. I've known this family for 45 years. They are good people. That's why they were all immediately ruled out, because we've known them all. They're good people. No, they wouldn't do that. We're not going to treat them like suspects. They're good people. Brian Albert's a pillar of the community. Shame on everyone who has condemned them based on gossip. No, it's not based on gossip. It's based on Cellbrite data, forensic analysis, witness statements, stuff like that. Common sense, autopsy photos, pictures of Karen Reed's car, all that shit. Missing library footage, whatever. And supported by bullying and harassment. Oh, these people with the word bullying. These people have been the bullies their whole life. And they're ironically complaining about bullying. Be careful, because you could be Turtleboy's next victim. I hate when people say that. You could be his next victim, as if I just go around picking on random innocent people. No. First of all, you're not a victim. You're the bully. We're bullying the bullies, I guess. We're exposing the bullies. You could be his next victim. Okay. Or the only way to become a victim of Turtleboy is, you got to sell your food stamps on Facebook or cover up a murder, or like send dick pics to a 13-year-old. That'll get you on Turtleboy, I guess, or get at the fight at the Big E. Anyway, so that's them. And her own daughter wrote exclamation point. She was in the house. 2019 was Brendan Albert Albert's favorite son, 5th-year senior, captain of the Bridgewater State football team. And here's another picture of the Alberts and the McCabes. I mean, look, every picture is like this. Every family photo is like this. They all do this. Chris Albert Jr., meathead, Brendan Albert, Caitlin Albert, Brian Albert Jr. This is the high school lacrosse coach, Tommy Galvin. And I don't know which one this is. She's definitely probably related to them, but like every picture is like that. 2021 was Jack and Kayla Albert, the twins. I believe they go to Bridgewater. At least I think Jack's in the Marines and Kayla's goes to Bridgewater. And of course, they're on the lacrosse team, which is coached by Tommy Galvin, which is their cousin. Of course it is. Of course. So there's that. And then finally, 2022, Allie McCabe and Colin Albert, who are not cousins and are not dating, but for some reason pose in pictures like this that I got from that video. Like, what the fuck is that? What? Okay. And then this, of course, the middle fingers. There they all are. Like everyone. Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, that's that. So that's our yearbook one, man. We have a comment section now. You can read our comments, 69 comments on this. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk on the downstream effects of inbreeding. Again, the moral of the story here, guys, is as I wrote at the end, if a body is found on Brian Albert's lawn, it is not going to be treated. It cannot be investigated fairly in an unbiased manner because of everything. These people all know each other, man. They've known each other for 45 years. Okay. And that's why people are like, Brian Albert's just going to throw a dead body on his front lawn? Yeah, he is. Because he feels so confident that he's good. Because the neighbor across the street with the Ring camera went to high school with his wife and is the deputy police chief. And the lead investigator graduated from Canton in 2020 and is really close with his family and has been for a long time. He's good. He's in the bag. The district attorney, God knows what Brian Albert has on Michael Morrissey. God knows. Oh my God. How many hookers did Michael Morrissey kill that night? That's what I want to know. Don't tell me that Michael Morrissey hasn't killed a hooker. I don't believe that. The odds of, like, come on, look at the people he hangs around with. Look at that shady developer. Went around raping 14-year-old drug addicted girls. This is like, come on, man. Like, Michael Morrissey's I call his house at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. He's out drinking. Come on. There's no way Brian Albert doesn't have something on this guy. It's the only way to explain their loyalty. All right, let me read a couple turtle chats here. Check the turtle chats. Okay. And we got some cash apps as well. Okay. We got one from Ann, sends $25. Ann sends $25 and says, I'm donating to you for all the work you do. I heard you are making too much money and should stop the ads. When I see your name on Fortune 500, I will stop donating. Love you. I appreciate that very much. I think that was a comment that was made on the Justice page about somebody's like, love you, Turtleboy, but you got to stop the ads. It's like, we do. You just join Turtle Club and then the ads go away. Or you just get the ad free for $10 a month and then the ads go away. That's it. I know the ads aren't fun. The ads suck. I don't see ads because I'm on ad free. This is what it looks like on ad free. It's very smooth. Not a problem on ad free. So I can't relate to that. So thank you very much for the dono there. Next up, that was from Ann. We got a dono here from. Oh, we got another video coming up. Gotta watch this. What is this a video of?
Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Okay, I'll watch that later. It's like a 55-minute video. Kathleen sends $10 and says, didn't Alan Jackson say in court that people leaving the party didn't see John because his body hadn't been moved outside yet? Yeah. So isn't it possible that some people in the house weren't aware of what happened? I don't believe that for a second. That there's no way you could be inside that house and not hear a man being killed. I don't believe that for a second. So I guess in theory, if it was like a mansion, maybe, but it's not. It's a 2,300 square foot house. So I don't believe that is plausible. Yes, Alan Jackson did say that. All right. Got a couple other ones here on Cash App. We got Wade Stevens says $10 and says, can you live stream Old Mom's trial? Yeah, that would be, I am going to go to that. Krusty Panties is on trial on October 26th she has her trial date for violating a harassment prevention order and stalking an innocent person for the crime of being friends with me. So there's that. Natalie sends $5. It says True Crime Daily and tbdailynews.com and dailynews.com are misinformed. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. So let me just let's talk about this last thing here. All the inconsistencies, the evolution of Jen McCabe's story. And we need to, and I went over this on Turtle Club, but we need to just rehash this, how much your story changes. I found this fascinating. Like, this is something I learned. All right. So when Jen, there's 4 officers who have a report in Alan Jackson's 92-page affidavit from April 12th. The first one is Patrolman Steven Seraph, class of 89. And according to him, Karen Read kept screaming, is he dead? Is he dead? They all said that. That she said that. Is he dead? There's a lot of that. And that she was severely distraught and was not able to tell her what happened. And they basically put her in the car. So that is, again, Jen McCabe is telling us that Karen Read is yelling, I hit him, I hit him. Did I hit him? Oh my gosh, did I hit him? Not a single cop on scene in their report says anything to the effect of that. Not one. They all make her sound like she's distraught. You know who's distraught? People in trauma. And that shows authentic emotion. That she just found her dead boyfriend's body and is freaking out about it. And doesn't know how he got there. And is just, what is her concern? Her concern was not how long it takes to die in cold. Is he dead? Can you save him? Is there anything to do? Not Jen McCabe. And by the way, all of this will come out on the dash cam and the 911 call. Think about it. Canton police all have dash cams. So they're going to pull up and we're going to see everything that happens. I don't know anything about that. Personally, myself, I don't know anything about that. But I'm guessing if Karen Read did say something, like I hit him, police dash cams are going to get it, right? And they're also going to get Jen McCabe and everything Jen McCabe's doing. And we'll see if she has any emotions in this. We'll see if she is upset. Because, you know, when you find a dead body of a guy you were just with 6 hours ago, who was just living and breathing and drinking beers with you 6 hours ago, you should be distraught. Like, Karen Read's response to this is authentic, is it not? If she's actually like in distress. Whereas, like, what's Jen McCabe's like? I don't hear anything about her being in distress. So we'll see what the dash cam shows, and we'll see what the 911 tape shows. Because I'm guessing that the 911 tape, right, is gonna have background noise, right? So if we're gonna hear Karen Read in the 911 tape, I'm guessing, because I don't know anything about any 911 tape. But if I did, I bet you that would be on there. And I bet you it's going to be bad news for the McAlberts. That's what I'm guessing. But again, I don't know anything about any 911 tape or dash cams. Don't know anything about it. But I'm guessing that that's going to be beneficial. Okay? So there's that. All right. Next. So then we had the next report from Stephen Mullaney. This is class of 2014. He says that Karen Read, while talking to McCabe, because so McCabe goes over to him. Read this. Officer Saraf asked me to assist in getting witnesses' information. I then spoke with McCabe. So, of course, Jen McCabe is the first one that he talks to because this is what she does. That's why she was there. She intentionally, I mean, think about this too. A couple of things people have pointed out. So, and Lounge Lizard pointed this out on Twitter, and it's a good point. I like Lounge Lizard now. They, when they drove from, so in that morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, Karen Read wakes up, can't find John, backs up, hits his car, goes to Jen McCabe's house, goes north, right? And is hysterical. And Jen McCabe drives her car back to O'Keefe's house, drives it back to O'Keefe's house, where she came from. So she basically just picked up Jen McCabe. And they follow, I believe, Carrie Roberts on the way. Or Carrie Roberts follows them. Because Carrie Roberts lives up near Jen McCabe. So Carrie Roberts follows them to One Meadows. Well, if Carrie Roberts is behind is behind Karen Read's car, wouldn't she have noticed that it was missing 35 pieces of taillight? Why did they need to be told by Karen Read that, oh yeah, I broke my taillight? Wouldn't she have seen 35 pieces of missing? 35 pieces is a lot, man. 35 pieces is a lot. So there's that. My guess is the dash cam and 911 were not working. You know what? I would normally guess that too, but just, again, I don't know anything about any 911 tapes or dash cams, but I'm guessing that those exist. I'm guessing they could not delete those. But I thought that was a really good point by Lounge Lizard. So +1 for her or him, whoever you are. Oh, excuse me. Woo! Did you know that sneezing is 1/6 of an orgasm? I read that somewhere. It makes sense. I mean, it feels good. It's just, ooh. Like you don't go all the way, but whatever. Anyway, bless you. Thank you very much. I'm finishing up the cold. I think I'm all done with the cold. So that's what, so back to this. McCabe picks him up. And I'd also like to point out, like all the back and forth driving and shit, like they go to random fucking places and it's all to avoid going to 34 Fairview Road. She wanted it to last longer. She knew that he wasn't put out there till later. She's fucking evil, man. Evil. Evil. All right, anyway. So it says here, so she gets in his ear and starts talking to him. Now, what about Karen Read? Read was hysterical and distraught. Same thing. She says, is he dead? That's my boyfriend. Sergeant Good advised Carrie Roberts to take Read home. After Read and Roberts left, Can Control advised officers that Read was making suicidal statements to her father. Roberts then brought Read back to the scene where Sergeant Good asked me to fill out a Section 12 paperwork. And she was transported to the hospital. That is key. So first of all here, another person that says she's hysterical, nothing about is, did I hit him? Nothing like that. But they get her out of there. If they thought there was any chance that if Karen Read had said anything to the effect of, I hit him, they are not letting her leave that scene. That is a confession to murder. You hit him and you didn't call 911? You left him there? That's a confession. So, yeah, that is hard to believe. So that is all the proof right there never happened. But also, like, her getting sectioned was so integral to this cover-up. And her being out of her mind and trauma is so integral because she was not in the right state of mind, and Jen McCabe was. Jen McCabe was cool, calm, and collected throughout all this. And that 4 or 5 hour window where Karen Read is sectioned at the same hospital where her boyfriend was just pronounced dead, that is when the conspiracy really, that Jen McCabe goes into overdrive, because Karen Read is not there to tell police that she's lying. And again, there they are. This is good. Of course, somebody's got to be doing the finger. That's Katie Brown, Courtney Proctor, and Jill Daniels. All buddies, hanging out, partying. There they are. Okay. There's Gallagher. His report was not listed in there. But anyway, according to Good's report, Karen and John, so first of all, Jennifer, he's one of the people that Jennifer immediately goes and seeks out, is Sean Good, because why wouldn't he? She knows Sean Good. She's known Sean Good for a long time. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Oh, yeah, Karen and John pulled up in their car, and she saw the passenger door open. She didn't tell anyone else this, that she saw the passenger door open of John's car. She also says they never came in, and she saw the car drive off, and that she thought they changed their mind and went home for the night. If you thought they went home for the night, then why did you Google how long to die in cold at 2:27 a.m.? If you saw him drive away, like, why would the passenger door open and John O'Keefe not get out? Why would he do that? I'm just going to open the door and not get out. What? Or maybe he did get out and then she's hit him. But she's like, she didn't see him get hit, but she saw Karen drive away. Does it say the time in this one? It says she saw the car drive off. It doesn't say the time period between those two incidents, but we'll get to that. Karen was hysterical and yelling, "Is he dead?" I asked, this is a good line right here. I asked how John ended up there. And what does Karen Read say? Like, this is this is a key question. Good asks Karen Read, how did he end up there? This is when she could say, I hit him. That's how he ended up there. I think I hit him. Right? If she was going around saying that, that's what she would say, is how did he end up there? I guess I hit him. I guess I hit him. I don't know. They're telling me I hit him. What does she say? I don't know. She says, I don't know. Boom. I asked if she drove there last night. She said, I think so. At this point, I stopped asking questions because she was too upset and unable to keep her train of thought. So now we have 3 reports saying the same thing about Karen Read's behavior. And Jen McCabe is telling them different things about doors opening now. And most interestingly, it was Good who ordered Karen to be driven home because she was not needed anymore. But again, why would he do that if he at all suspected her of being responsible? Now, Sergeant Lank comes into the picture, the fixer. He gets called in. It's his day off. And he gets called in there. And let's see, the first person that I spoke to was Jennifer McCabe. Of course it was, because you graduated 4 years ahead of her at Canton High School. You probably had her in the headlock. You're 2 years behind her sister, Nicole, who graduated in 1988. And, you know, you're Mr. Canton, Michael Lank, right? And according to her, she observed as the vehicle just sat out in front of the house for several minutes. So she watched the car for several minutes. That's new. With the passenger side facing the house, she thought that the vehicle sat outside for at least 15 minutes. But neither party came to the door, and ultimately the car drove away. 15 minutes? This is interesting. Now, we know that the Apple Health data shows that John McCabe is inside the house, ascending and descending stairs between 12:21 and 12:24. So he's in the house at 12:21 by then. It makes perfect sense. It aligns with all of the checkpoints about the temple and all that stuff. 12:21. The prosecution says that John got to the house at 12:24. But GPS, they use Waze, the Waze clock. The Waze runs by GPS. It is not as accurate as the Apple Health data. The Apple Health uses an internal clock. The Cocoa clock, to be exact. So that is much more accurate than anything. But whatever. We'll give them 12:24. It's not 12:24, it's 12:20. But we'll give them 12:24. So the Apple Health data, I apologize. The prosecution says he gets there at 12:24. So if he was there for 15 minutes, Jen, and you observed him pull up, then he had to have left at 12:39. She left at 12:39, right? She drove away. But there's just one problem with that, Jen. The new Commonwealth statement of facts is that John was struck at 12:25 and 36 seconds. And then after that, she immediately drove off. So she left at 12:25, according to the Commonwealth. So now her story conflicts with the Commonwealth. Why did she even say this? That's what I don't get. Is like, this is classic Jen McCabe wanting to be like, I gotta get involved. I gotta say something. Whatever. You say less, bitch. Why did she not just say, I didn't see the car. I was waiting inside. I didn't see him. He didn't come up. I didn't see the car come up either. Why didn't they just, that's what Brian Albert said. He said, I didn't see any car. Why didn't they just, I was at the party, I was doing a keg stand. Why did they all feel the need? Because she just can't help herself. She just can't help herself. Okay. So it says here that approximately 1:30, McCabe and her husband leave the house and give a ride home to Julie Nagel. Why does she intentionally not mention the name Sarah Levinson? Doesn't mention it. Seems relevant. Seems relevant. Okay. So, yeah, there's Lank, the fixer. Lank also goes on to say, right, he's the only cop that went inside the house. At 6:38, Trooper Proctor called them and was already like in contact with them, who never stepped on the scene, by the way, never came to 34 Fairview Road. They wanted us to believe now. But yeah, while on scene, all attempts to speak with Reed were unsuccessful. She was hysterical and difficult to control. That's 4 statements now saying the same thing about Karen Reed's. Incomprehensible. Everything she was saying was incomprehensible. The only statement, that's a good word, only statement, not like a statement, the only statement that she was able to relay was that she didn't remember ever being at 34 Fairview Road. So there's nothing in there about like, did I hit him? Did I hit him? All right. So it goes on to say, next I went into 34 Fairview Road and I spoke with the homeowners, Brian Albert and Nicole Albert. Both parties from this point, okay, whatever. And then they talk about the waterfall bar. He didn't know the party well. Okay, all this bullshit. Asked about their demeanor. It was fine. And then Matt McCabe is somehow there. I don't know how he got there, but Matt McCabe is there. He also stated that he observed the vehicle pull up out front of the house, but never saw either party get out of the vehicle. He also reiterated what Brian said. Of course he did. O'Keefe seemed to be fine at the bar, blah, 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 blah. I asked Brian and Nicole who else was at the house that night, and now here's a lie. They say Brian Albert Jr., Caitlin Albert, Julie Nagel, and Brian Higgins. And that Caitlin left at 12:15. We'll see about that. And Tristan Morris picked her up. Couple missing names there. Colin Albert's missing from that list. Sarah Levinson's missing from that list. Why? Like, so he's just lying, immediately lying. Like Brian Albert is dishonest. He's supposed to be a cop and he's lying to police, lying to them. It's undeniable that he lied about who was there because we know Sarah Levinson was there. It's undeniable. Why would he lie about that? And if you're lying about that, what else are you lying about, Brian? And while on scene, Lieutenant Gallagher, Sergeant Good, and myself attempted to retrieve as much evidence as possible given the weather conditions. Lieutenant Gallagher was able to use a leaf blower to blow up the top layers of snow, We were able to observe a broken drinking glass and multiple patches of red, which appears to be frozen blood drops. That's it. That's it. There's nothing on there at all about any taillight or shoes or anything like that. Interesting. And so Lank goes on to say, or is this Lank still? Nicole stated she met her sister Julie. Oh, no. So now we're on to the state police. Okay. So Jen McCabe is going to start talking to state police now. And so is Nicole. Nicole stated that she met her sister Julie and daughter Tristan at the bar, at the Waterfall bar at 7:30, yet Tristan still needed to pick her up at 12:15. How does that work? I thought they were together at the Waterfall bar. Make that make sense. And Nicole also lies and says that all the guests left at 1 o'clock. The guests left at 1:47. Then this is the key thing. This is from Lank's report. At 9 o'clock, I was contacted at the police station by Jennifer McCabe. She asked if it was possible to come back to 34 Fairview Road and speak with her. Lieutenant Gallagher and I both left immediately, even though this was a state police investigation at this point. But she feels comfortable with Michael Lank there and arrived at 34 Fairview within a few minutes. McCabe told us she recalled something that she was not sure if we were aware of. She just recalled this, that when Reed was driving around with her and Roberts looking for the victim, she said something to the effect of, "I hope I didn't hit him." She made these statements again at the scene when the victim was discovered. That is the key word. Look at that. When the victim was discovered. The victim is discovered at 6:04 a.m. Jen McCabe is on the phone with 911. If Karen Reed is yelling, what's the statement? "I hope I didn't hit him." Now it's changed from "did I hit him" to "I hope I didn't hit him." It's changed. Now she's saying that this happened when she found the victim. If that is true, then that will be on the 911 call, because she called at the exact same time. And I'll bet you it's not on the 911 call. I don't know about that because I don't know anything about any 911 calls. I certainly haven't heard any 911 calls. And I certainly don't know as a fact that it makes Jen McCabe sound very incriminating. Like it's going to be really bad. I don't know anything about that. I'm just assuming. But I'm guessing there's nothing on there because they probably would have released that 911 tape by now, don't you think? If Karen Reed is on there saying, "I hope I didn't hit him," gee willikers. And she also said that Reed may have made these statements in front of a police officer. That's interesting. She's like, she might have said it in front of a cop. She's basically telling him without telling him. Maybe throw that in your report, Lank, that she said that. Can you do that for me? He didn't. He didn't amend his report, and to his credit, he didn't put that in his report. But she throws that in there. Maybe, I think she said it in front of a cop. She's like telling him what to put in his report. That's what she's basically doing right there. Oh, this woman's evil. And then on 2-4, I was working the 8 to 4 shift as the detective sergeant. At approximately 8:50, I was contacted by Lieutenant Gallagher, who advised me that Chief Berkowitz was at 34 Fairview Road and possibly discovered more evidence. He directed our attention to the area where O'Keefe had been discovered. I was able to observe a red, broken piece of hard plastic, which appeared to have been broken off of a motor vehicle light fixture. Oh, but it's because the temperature melted the snow. So they found it all because how did they find the other stuff on that? But they found more. But somehow he missed that. Lank, who was there a week ago and didn't see any tail light, he's like, "Oh, cool. Thanks, Chief Berkowitz. You're a real sleuth." So he photographed it. Okay. And by the way, how did they find out? How did Nicole Albert find out that there was a dead body on a lawn? Not from all the noise. Jen McCabe walks into her unlocked house. A cop keeps his house unlocked. And Jen McCabe just moseys on in and goes and tells him, oh, yeah, there's a dead body on your front lawn, but it's gone now. You missed it. You missed it. And then now Jen speaks with the state police, somebody called Trooper Prince. And she tells Trooper Prince that Jen said while she was at the house that someone, that's a new one. Someone said, so somebody came up to her. Who's the someone? And said there's a car outside. She looked out the front door of the house and saw the car. She assumed it was John and Karen. She didn't know what kind of car it was because she doesn't know anything about cars. She knows that the vehicle was facing the opposite direction. So she texts him at 12:21 here, question mark. She texted him at 12:31. So she waits 10 minutes and told him pull up behind her vehicle. She looks out the window a while later and notices the car was further away from the house, closer to the neighbor. At 12:40, she texted again and said, hello, where are you? But that means she sees the car at 12:40. She sees the car at 12:40. And the next time she looks out the window, the car was gone. So in this version of the story, she didn't see the car drive away. She saw the car there at 12:40, even though the Commonwealth's narrative is that the car left at 12:25. But in this version of the story, she sees the car at 12:40 and doesn't see it drive away. She looks out again, it's gone. And that's in this version of the story. Her version changes later on. And by the way, she also says that because John's phone was called by her at 12:29 and picked up, there was a butt dial. Don't you hate that? When you butt dial a guy, he picks up the phone and somehow while he's dead, it's weird how that happens. Okay, then she goes on to say, when she speaks to Trooper Proctor, she tells him, Jen said that Karen was hysterical screaming. Karen drove to Jen's house. And that she said that Jen said that Karen was saying things like, could I have hit him? It's always different. Look at the crack in my taillight. There's a crack in it. Oh, yeah, it must have been me. She also lies and tells Proctor that there's 6 inches of snow on the ground. We know that's not true. And this is the wildest part, that he was lying on his back and his phone was on the ground underneath him. Does Jen McCabe have X-ray eyes? How the fuck did she see the phone if he's lying on top of the phone? And if she stayed in the car and called 911? Come on. Oh my God, these people. And that she was asking people if she hit him. Again, everyone says otherwise. Karen immediately yelled at Jen 2 times to Google, how long do you have to be left outside to die from hypothermia? This woman who is hysterical and is like not making any sense is just like, here, can you Google this very specific thing? How long do you have to be? Like, why would that even cross her mind? She didn't fucking know how long he's been left. What? Why would she know that? Like, what? Jen McCabe did that because, like, this was all her plan. She's like, I'm just going to say, Karen, I'm going to Google it again at 6:24 to make it look like I Googled it at 6:24. And then we're just going to say the 2:27 one never happened. And I'm going to spell it the wrong way at the same time. You know, I mean, we're going to do how long to dying cold. Oops. I deleted that one. We're going to do it again. And then I'm going to say that Karen told me to do it, and that's why I Googled it. Right. Okay. Karen made a comment that if there were not any kids, they would not have anything to fight over. She had to throw that in there too. Oh, actually, you know, this bitch hates kids. We have to make her seem evil. And then Jen told Karen that was very normal. Oh, Jen's very understanding. They're good friends. They bonded over that. Right. She tells Proctor at the friends and family meeting that she observed a large black SUV on the street outside and went to the front door. It was parked by the entrance to the driveway. She observed it parked out front. She texted him at 12:40 and then again 12:45. That's new this time, is the 12:45 text. When Jennifer sent the last text to John, she observed the black SUV drive away. That's the first time she said that. Remember, she told Prince on February 1st that she didn't see the car drive away. that she looked out the window and it was gone. Now she's seeing it drive away at 12:45, even though the Commonwealth is saying that they have EDR data saying that she drove away at 12:25 and got the fuck out of there. But she made sure to point out that she observed the vehicle go to where John's body was discovered. She made sure to put that in there. So that's the evilness of Jen McCabe, is it not? And I think that's really important. So that's what we're going to be doing for the next couple months, is just reviewing all the witness statements and just pointing out the inconsistencies and keeping this free Karen movement alive. I don't want to lose any momentum with this. It's too important. But yeah. Okay, let me read any turtle chats if we have any. We got one from Alex here. Alex sends $25 with the comment. Turtleboy, you rock. My take as a lawyer. We got a lawyer now. His plan was for Morrissey and his goons to try this case until the bitter end. A conviction or an acquittal is a win, because even if the case of an acquittal, they're not required to bring charges against anyone else. I've been saying that from the beginning. They'd simply say, oh, well, the jury got it wrong. Exactly. Casey Anthony, that's what they want to turn her into. That was until Turtleboy got on the story. I can't wait for the federal indictments to rain all over the corruption brigade. I appreciate that. I am not responsible for the federal indictment. Those were happening. The investigation was happening long before I was involved. But I certainly think that I've given them some helpful information. So I appreciate that. And I have said, and I said this, I think, on Turtle Club, is that I think that the McAlberts want Karen to be acquitted. Doesn't that make sense? That they want Karen Read to be found not guilty. If you were them, wouldn't you want that? How it's going to make it a lot easier for them to sleep at night if Karen Read doesn't go to jail. And nobody goes to jail. It's like, fine, that's all they want. I'm sure they didn't. They had to blame it on Karen, because if they didn't blame it on Karen, then they'd be in trouble. But I don't think they. I'm sure part of them must feel a little bit bad, right? A little bit bad. And wouldn't you sleep a lot easier if you were them, knowing that, like, okay, at least, okay, good. So we didn't ruin her life. She's fine. You know, it sucked, but it's fine. All right. Got a couple cash apps here. Let's see. Do we have any cash apps? I'm getting some texts. Dr. Daddy, did you get the Chris Albert TRO tape yet? Not yet. Let me check right now one more time. I refresh this every day. They are delaying on that, but I will get it. I will get it. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so let's see. So any more cash apps? No, I think we're good. All right, if anyone else wants to donate, I guess the link is at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $sign Uncle Turtleboy. Until then, I'll take some Q&A. Anyone have any questions they want to ask me? If she was found guilty, she would appeal, and their hell would likely continue. Yeah, I mean, of course she's going to appeal if God forbid the unthinkable happens. And she'd have a great appeal. I mean, that's when the Innocence Project gets involved. Like, there's no fucking way Karen Read is going to spend a significant amount of time in prison. 0% chance. Worst case, and like, Bev Canoni is not the final authority on this. She's not. Was McCabe in the house? He was. Yes, correct. Do I think Jen's watching? I think she watches everything. They're taking it to trial. They're going to try. The feds might beat him to it, though. We'll see. Yeah, these are available in the Turtleboy store. Check them out, guys. The Jackson Yannetti 2022, 2024 shirts. Check them out in the Turtleboy store. Would you grill Colin? Oh, absolutely, I would. I would love to speak with Colin Albert. I mean, I would ask him tougher questions than Gretchen Voss about that text message. I wouldn't be as dumb. I mean, Gretchen Voss, nothing against her personally, really bad reporter. Really, really bad. That's it. Not good at her job. Yeah, that guy I'm going to keep an eye on that pedo from New Bedford for sure. Thank you very much, Fee. Welcome aboard, the Turtle. He goes to every Canton High School football game? Oh, interesting. Dude, I would be so recognizable at these things. I can't go anywhere now without getting recognized. A Canton High School football game? Oh, my God. I need one of those. Like, I might get a mustache with the glasses and wear that. Dude, Peta Stare was the funniest. That was Ernie who came up with that one. That was a good one. Peta Stare. That's a good one. No, John was buried, not cremated. The Bridgewater State game, wasn't that Friday? Didn't that just pass? Bridgewater against Worcester State? I missed it. I did cover the New Bedford. I'm the only one that covered the New Bedford pedo. Has it been suggested since the very beginning that the 2-minute missing of library footage contains Karen Reed driving by? Of course. It's the exact time when she would have driven by. The exact time. The Supreme Judicial Court ruling on Brian Albert? I don't know yet. Nothing. If there's an acquittal, why wouldn't they investigate who did it? What? Especially if there's line. Is that a real question, Gigi? Have you not been following this because they're covering it up? I don't. If you're asking questions like that, you just got to start from the beginning, my dude. Is Colin as dumb as his poetry? Yes, I think he is. We need to see you roll up to an event again. Yes, I need to start going. I'll be back. Canton's my home. I'm the mayor. I don't know. I need a Wiki. I feel like I how do I not have a Wikipedia page? I think they have to make it for you, right? Oh God, because people get the fuck with that. Imagine when it would go on my Wikipedia. Yikes. Somebody's asking if there's an acquittal, the DA has not exactly. If she's acquitted, could that lead to probable cause to investigate when OJ was acquitted of murder, did they go after the real killers? No. There's your answer. That's the way they're going to treat it. They're going to treat her like OJ. Can you tell this detective guy Karen isn't taking a plea deal? I don't know who the detective guy is, but to be clear, if you think Karen Reed is taking a plea deal on this, you have no clue what you're talking about. You must be new here. You don't know a goddamn thing about this. It's cute that you are saying words and you have opinions and you know how to use a computer and a phone or whatever. That's cute. Good for you. But if you think Karen Reed has any intention of pleading on this, you don't know the first thing about this case or Karen Reed. Karen Reed doesn't have to plead because there's a 0% chance she's getting convicted of anything. Bring me on the panel. Who are you? Who are you? Let me see if there's any more turtle chats. Oh, yeah, we got one from Erica. Erica Madden sends $25, owner of the Star Drive-In. And her comment is, for the fight, because we ain't got no quit. Yeah, we ain't got no quit shirts coming out, actually, this week. So stay tuned for those. They're going to be cool. They're going to be very cool. No, I can't do a quick free. They're not actual freestyles. They're written out ahead of time. Spoiler alert. All right. I guess we'll call it a night, folks. I'm a little tired, but we'll see you guys soon, right? We'll see you Tuesday for the next episode of the live show. Hopefully the Patriots can salvage their season tomorrow, and we'll see y'all on Tuesday. Peace, Turtle Riders.